Hola amigos y amigas, you are listening to the English Made Simple show. This is episode 106, número 106. Hello minions, how are you? How is it? How are things going? I hope you had an amazing weekend. It was a short weekend. Now that it's over, it's time to come back to reality and go back to work. Well, someone's gotta go to work and pay those bills. The bills aren't going to pay themselves. You know what I'm saying? Welcome amigos y amigas. My name is Milena from EnglishMadeSimple.net. In this month of May, we are going to be learning all about working in an office. We will learn some new vocabulary related to working inside a company. Cool! So in the last episode, we learned about how to talk about our jobs and about our responsibilities. And I hope you were able to practice the examples I gave you. I hope you were able to practice them on yourselves. That was your homework. Right! Guys, remember the question we learned in episode 104? The question was, what do you do? Remember that question? Cool. If you're new to the show, I suggest you go back to episode 104 and learn how to answer this question. There was a lot of valuable information for you in that episode, so hop into your time machine and transport yourselves to episode 104. Before we carry on with today's show, let me give you some other ways someone could ask you what you do instead of simply asking you, what do you do, okay? I want to share some more examples with you. This question can be asked in many different ways, okay? Let me expand on this, as I think it could be really valuable to most of you listening. Some examples of this question would be, what's your profession? We know this one already. We learned that one in episode 104. This is a more direct way of asking the question, okay? And it's not so common. The next variation to this question would be, what do you do for a living? This sort of question is something you would typically hear nowadays. What do you do for a living? What's your line of work? Another one, good one to know. What line of work are you in? Just a different way of asking the same question. What's your area of expertise? What's your area of expertise? It's a fancy schmancy way of asking the question, okay? What's your area of expertise? What do you specialize in? Or what's your specialization? Or what's your specialty? It's common to hear this type of questions if you work in the medical industry. The medical industry has many specializations, meaning the main areas where people are highly skilled or they are experts in one particular area, means they're specializing in one particular area. Okie dokie, let's not digress and let's carry on with today's show. In today's episode, we are going to learn about what happens at the office. What happens when you start working in an English-speaking country, especially if you happen to be living in Australia or New Zealand. Today's episode will also be useful to those who are starting work in an English-speaking country. I will share some personal examples with you. I haven't worked in the US or UK, but I can imagine the environment would be quite similar. So, what happens on your first day in the office? Let's start with that one, okay? Listen up, amigos. New vocabulary coming your way now. When you arrive at work, your manager will be showing you around the office. They will give you a tour around the office and introduce you to your colleagues, people you will be working with. We say colleagues, not colleagues, okay? Another word you will hear is workmates instead of colleagues. Workmates is something you will hear often in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. They refer to colleagues as workmates. Other names you would hear are co-workers or teammates. Alrighty, once the introductions are done, you will be taken to your desk or cubicle. You will have a phone and a laptop connected and hopefully the second monitor too. I wouldn't be able to work without the second monitor. I would go nuts. Alright, laptop in Spanish is notebook. It's rare to see a desktop computer nowadays. Most companies use laptops. The setup of your workstation should be ready on your first day, but sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we would like, which means you will have to set up your own workstation, your desk. You will be shown a stationery room where they keep all the stationery. Útiles o materiales de escritorio, such as pens, papers, envelopes, and so on. They are located in the stationery room or mail room. This is normally where you would find printers as well. You know those machines where you can print stuff, print documents? In Spanish, printers are impresoras. Printers. They are usually located inside the stationery room. Some companies expect you to organize logins on your first day, logins to different applications that you will be using for your job, applications or programs, computer programs. Alright, so what this means is that you will have to call the IT help desk yourself, okay? Because you're expected to organize logins on your first day. The IT help desk belongs to the company's IT department, Departamento de o Área Informática, the IT department. The IT help desk will provide you with the logins and passwords, and normally they ask you what other programs you would need to have access to. What I would normally do in these situations is use a teammate's name, someone who is in the same team as me, someone I will be working closely with. And then I would say to the IT help desk person, can you please grant me the same privileges as John Smith? I need to have the same system access as John Smith. That should be enough for the IT guys to set you up and have you up and running in no time. And that way you don't have to remember all the different programs that you need access to. One less thing to worry about. The first day at work usually involves these minor admin stuff. Unfortunately, it's normal. Such is life. Just have to deal with it. On my first day at work, the first thing I would do is go straight to the stationery area and get myself some stationery. I'd grab a notebook and different color pens because I have a stationery fetish. Just another weakness of mine. I love all types of stationery. Notebook. Notebook here means cuaderno in Spanish. This is where you write stuff. I know that in Spanish you say notebook to mean laptops or to mean laptop. You can say that in English too. You can say notebook for laptop. But I often hear notebook to be used for stationery instead. Stationery items such as notepad or cuaderno in Spanish. So, grab your stationery before you head off to your cubicle. Your cubicle or your desk is now your new home, away from home. It's your new home. This is where you will be spending a lot of your time, more than you would be spending at home, okay? It will be your new home. Sad but true. Depends on the company. It could be fun too. It doesn't have to be sad, okay? During the first month in the company, you will also have the opportunity to attend an orientation day or induction. This is the day where you get introduced to other departments. The managers of other departments will be holding a presentation to talk about what their teams do in the company. What's the function of their teams in the company? You will also be able to learn more about the company's mission and vision. You will hear about their mission statement. By the way, the company orientation day will take place in bigger companies, bigger corporations. Not really when you work for a small business. They will have a different onboarding process. What do you mean, onboarding process? Aha, it's a bit of a corporate lingo, lenguaje corporativo, corporate language. So employee onboarding or customer onboarding means... wait, I think it's a perfect time to bring Weon Inteligente to the mix today. According to Weon Inteligente or the online dictionary, onboarding means to go through procedures to effectively integrate a new employee into an organization or familiarize a new customer or client with one's products or services. Basically, it's a procedure for getting the new employee settled in the company. Onboarding. Cool. That was something new for you today, some corporate lingo. Next week, we are going to learn more about this corporate jargon. So stay tuned, amigos y amigas. What else do you need to learn when you're in the office? You will need to engage in small talk. There is a technique that I would like to share with you, but I think we won't have time to practice it in today's show, so I will leave this for next week. Next week, I'm going to introduce more corporate jargon, and I will also show you how to engage in small talk with your colleagues. It will help you break the ice if you're new in the company. Alrighty, cool bananas! Cool bananas! Sid from Brazil asked me what cool bananas means. Why do I keep saying that? That's a great question, Sid. Thank you for asking this question in the Facebook group. I'm sure most of you would be wondering the same. Well, it's a fun way to say awesome, amazing, cool. Actually, I can dedicate the whole show to bananas. There are other expressions which I won't be getting into at the moment. There are other expressions to do with bananas, okay? Might use it next time. So, cool bananas, we are approaching the end of the show. But before we wrap up, before we end today's show, I would like to send a hello to David from Spain, who recently shared his story with me. David also had a couple of cool suggestions, an idea for the future topic, which was to do with fitness and exercise. So I have added this to my list of topics. Again, thanks for your nice comments, David, and keep listening. Gracias, compañero David. And also a special hello goes to Luis from Costa Rica. His friends call him Luis K. Luis K is multilingual. He's learning English and he speaks French. Merci beaucoup for your nice comments, Luis K. I am glad you're enjoying the show. Keep listening. Thanks, everyone. You've been listening to the English Made Simple show. You've been jamming with Milena from English Made Simple. I shall see you in the next episode, which will be a short and sweet episode where we are going to learn more about business expressions and phrases. The next set of business phrases that you will learn will be extremely useful to you, so stick around, amigos. Until next time, hasta la próxima.